sound of war could be heard everywhere. Onin's battle in 1467 triggered a ruleless world where the hierarchy of power meant nothing. Anarchy was the only thing which could be found.
Hello again, and welcome back. My name is Janota, and this is Robo Aleste. Okay, yeah, the guy doing the intro sounds like that morning maybe he just got some bad news from the doctor. I don't know, he sounds like he really doesn't want to be there. But don't let that be representative of the rest of this game. This is one of the best vertical scrolling shooters I've ever played, and is by far my favourite. It's, oh no demo. The bane of the recording world. This is a Sega CD release. Came out in 1993. I know not a lot of people have Sega CDs, and it was a very ill-fated console. Because a lot of the games that released for it were sort of video-based, where make this decision, and then we'll load another cutscene, and then make this decision, and then we'll load a fail-state cutscene. Ooh, and they weren't very good. They were boring. But there was also this other school of thought where people making games for the Sega CD went, well, we can't make them look any better than we did for the Mega Drive because the Sega CD is attached to the Mega Drive. But we've got loads of space on this disc, so let's just put a lot more on there. So they made like huge games that still looked like 16-bit Mega Drive games. The fact that it was CD-based meant that the music on these games could be like fantastically better than just about anything else released at the time. Also, it doubled as a CD player, which not a lot of people had back in 1993, so that was like a huge thing if you happen to have one. Didn't really make it worth buying overall, but if you do still have a Mega Drive knocking about, and let's face it, it'll still probably work because it's a Mega Drive, thank God for no moving parts, I miss those days so hard. Then, you know, try and get a Sega CD, because there are a few titles for it that make it worth owning now. So, back to this game. This is Robo Aleste, part of the Aleste series. I only know of 3 in the Aleste series. There's probably more. I've not really done my homework. There was Super Aleste for the Super Nintendo, which was apparently pretty good. And there's Musha, which just full title is Musha Aleste, which was a Sega Mega Drive title, which is fantastic, but it's also worth about £500 now. Like, if you try and pick one up, I can't even begin to imagine what that is in dollars. It's a lot of money, basically. But this is a spiritual successor to Musha, and I think it's better. Like, I don't know why I've managed to pick this game up for like a tenner. Like, ridiculously cheap for what I got. For the quality of game, it's maybe people just don't know about it yet. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe we should keep that quiet. Shh. So this is the first screen you come across. You've got options, very, very, very limited options. You can listen to sounds for some reason and the music that's in the game and change the difficulty from easy, normal to hard to cruel. I didn't even realise it had a difficulty setting above hard. I've not even looked at that. Okay, I might come back and look at that at the end just so we can see how brutally brutal this game can really be. But for now, we'll just stick with normal. And that's it, game start, and we're off. There is a fairly large story for this game. Again, not the kind of game that you give a damn about story-wise. Something to do with a warlord that was the devil. All people thought he was because he had powers, and all the other warlords wanted to stop him. And we're in feudal Japan, but for some reason have flying robots. It's an alternate future. It doesn't really matter. And you shoot stuff. Those little things you see me collecting there come out of those little yellow birdie type things. They up your main cannon's ability. You collect enough of them, your main cannon will start to up in power. I can't remember how many times exactly you can upgrade that. I know you can get four little blue beams coming out the front of you, like what's firing out 2 now. So you start off with 2, you can get up to 4, and then they start turning orange and change shape slightly, and you can get up to 4 of them as well. And that's your main cannons. These 2 little things hanging around my side here, they're quite cool. There's a couple. Oh, there we go. It's gone up to 3 now. There's a couple of things you can do with them. One of them is just use them to hurt things. If you get them near enough to enemies without getting yourself hit, they'll do quite a lot of damage. If you hold down the A button, you can charge them up and they start spinning around and fire them out to the sides. Like so, I've died. I died because I was trying to show you the doobrey. Yeah, hold them down and then they spin around you and fly off to the sides and do a ton of damage, and I've died again because I was still trying to show you the doobrey. I haven't found many like circumstance situations in which it's really worth in which it's really worth using that. But you know, there's probably like a higher level. Players know what that's for, but I never found a reason for it. Apart from that, yeah, you can collect these things. And they give you little satellite superpowers. Or they're just secondary fire, basically. But you can get different types of secondary fire. So you've got the blue ones here, which are lathered. There's some that fire out like little mines everywhere. There's another one that's homing. The homing one is by far the most useful one early on in the game. What's this one do? Oh, there you go. This one just fires little bombs out in loads of different directions. Because it can. Not the greatest one. I tend to flick between the huge lasers and the homing ones, because the homing ones are very, very good at dealing with the little fellas that sneak up on you. We're ninjas! And the big lasers are very, very good at dealing with bosses. I've committed suicide. It's one of those games, again, it's really hard to talk and play. And I'm not showing my skill off here by any stretch of the imagination. I forgot what greens one do. Green ones are shurikens. And here you can see the homing weapon. Like I say, it just nips around all over the place. It's really good for getting stuff that pops up behind you. There we go. Yeah, you earn extra lives by getting high scores. So, kill things to gain extra lives. There are no continues in this game, and I'll show you why when I die completely later on, because that's inevitable. That will happen. Eventually, what else have I got to tell you? Oh, the little speed bar you'll see at the top there. Death, 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 death. The little speed bar you'll see at the top there, where it says speed, there's 5 little arrows under it. By tapping C, you pick your own speed, so you don't have to pick speed up. So 1, very, very slow, so if you're like a precision player, or you can tap it all the way up and just fly around like a maniac. I found that to be far too fast and unwieldy, so I keep it about the 5 mark, I think's good for me. But that's personal preference, and I like that you can choose that, because a lot of games you either don't get speed ups at all, and you different ships are different speeds, you know, they're just not fast enough. Or skills, or the speed-ups eventually end up making you too fast. I found that I had a problem with Fireshark, that I collect so many speed-ups, because they're hard not to collect, and they'll make you so fast that... Oh, God, I got a little bit crazy. They'll make you so fast that you can't control your own ship, and you'll accidentally fly into things that you would have otherwise missed. So being able to have complete control over your own speed it's fantastically useful, and I wish more games like this did it. But yeah, it's old school games, so you don't get that magic pixel. Your ship is your hitbox. The little floaty things around you will protect you from certain bullets, but not all of them. Oh, there you go. You just saw another thing you can do. You can... Just going to hide in this corner for a second. Fuck! Fuckity fuck, fuck, fuck. Things were going so well. I was going to... It's impossible to talk and play. I don't know why I do this to myself. I could just pre-record the footage and talk over the top of it with like a script or something, but I don't. I take a couple of notes and then just play the game through whilst talking, and I make things very difficult for myself. Boss fight! You know it's a boss fight because the screen's going batshit crazy. Ooh, you know he's a bad guy because he's got an eye patch. So this is one of the best things about this game. The boss fights, they start off quite simple here, but the boss fights get very good. They're all super flying robots like yourself. They're all different versions of these steam-powered flying mechs, and they just get more and more elaborate and over the top and brilliant as the game goes on. And his arm fell off. I always called this guy Cage. His name's Kage. Kage. He wants me robot. Oh, you can't have it. Brother. Ooh, plot twist. Quick, click, 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 click. Fail. Fail. All the fail. I don't know what those things are. There was some things you just saw fly off there in the corner of the screen, like really quickly. I don't know what that is. I've never managed to shoot one down, so who knows? Maybe they're extra lives. Perhaps we'll never know. It would help if I was a bit more powered up by this stage. I've only got myself to blame. I'm out of practice. Yep, and that's something else you can do. If you collect the same type of weapon you already have, you get different, more powerful variations of that weapon. So it doesn't just get stronger, it changes, like you get a visual representation of the difference as well, which I just think's brilliant. I love little touches like that, make it much more fun visually. Ooh, weather conditions. These, oh, you fuck-nuggeting twat cunt. Ugh. I don't know where that came from. Oh, yes, now I can show you the other thing. So it's game over, I've died, I done gone fucked up. It's over, right? It's over, there's no continues, so it's just an old-ass brutal game. Right? Wrong. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. We now have a continue option, and you can continue at the start of the level that you done gone died on, which is great because you don't run out of continues. So it's fantastic that you can just sort of continue as many times as you want. Because, you know, I like old school games, but it does get a little bit frustrating, especially on the harder difficulty settings when you really, really want to progress in a game. And, oh, dearie me, crabs. And you have to do the same 3 stages over and over and over again to try and get back to the same point where you died before, to figure out why you died before, and if you can, you know, do it this time, to not be able to figure it out in time, die again, and have to do the same 3 bullshit stages over and over again. And it can end up making you dislike a game that you would otherwise really, really love. So I love the fact that back in 1993 somebody bothered to clock that and go, well, we could just make it, you know, so that they can have as many goes as they want. And that is probably why there's an extra difficulty setting in there, like a ridiculously difficult difficulty setting in there, because it could afford to be. That was one of the best things about adding checkpoint systems to games, or non-bullshit checkpoint systems to games. Gimme. Oh, fuck nuts. Is that you could make your game a lot harder than it would have been previously. Okay. Is he a doctor of some description? He looks like a doctor of some description. Is he dead already? Okay. Okay. I don't know what happened there. That shouldn't have been that easy. I broke the game. Oh, something else worth mentioning. When you die... Ooh, that was close. Avalanche. You don't immediately lose all your power-ups. You just knock down by 1. So if I've got 4 shots, like you can see I've got now, if I got... close. If I got killed, it would go down to 3. I wouldn't be set back to... So, well, now you'll see. No, you won't, because I'm on 0 lives. Fuck. Killed by an avalanche in a vertical scrolling shooter. Outstanding. Oh, now you can see some of my bullets... now you can see some of my bullets have gone orange. Which means they're now twice as powerful. The amount of time you can keep powering up for and upgrading your little dude is just outstanding. And the fact that you don't lose everything as well. Back to lasers. The fact that you don't lose everything as well when you die is it's such a well thought out, well made game. It's taking all the bullshit out. I mean, yeah, all these features make the game a little bit easier, but like I said earlier, they've added a whole extra difficulty setting. To balance that out. So if you want the old challenge back, then by all means just set it to sadist mode and have a field day. You know, it's have yourself a good old school time. But to say that they did all of this and thought of all of this back in 1993, I've played games, a lot of games after this. I've played games for the PS2 and PS3 of the same genre that haven't been done as well as this, that weren't as well thought out and as well balanced and crafted as this is. This is a huge gem and a massively underrated, like a hidden gem. The amount of people that don't know this game ever existed and like these kind of games is it's just plain wrong. You get brilliant enemy varieties. You know, they don't repeat too much, and you get lots of gimmicky enemies that are specific to said stages, like these train levels, for example. Also, the train levels. These train levels. Blah blah blah. Also, the levels design themselves are really good. Like, it's not the same thing over and over and over again. Things will catch you off guard, and they've thrown extra interesting little bits in there. It's a really well thought out, well crafted game. Like the like for example, earlier when avalanches came out of nowhere, you wouldn't usually expect to see that kind of behaviour from a vertical scrolling shooter, and it's just so it does everything right. I can't fault it on one point in particular, other than occasionally the colours get a little bit lost in the background, so you won't be able to see some of the bullets, or you'll confuse some of the bullets for the power ups, and you'll fly towards them and suicide. But again, minor issue. Like, it's not even a real problem. Look at this motherfucker. Blow his arms off. Oh. Oh, his arm fell off as he slapped me. Timing. Do I just have to take him out of the shoulders? No, don't worry about him. He's armless. Oh, shit, he's not. He's not at all armless. So, yeah, if you actually fly into them as well, they can do you damage. They have physical presences. Where's his head of? There we go. Off with his head and arms and back parts. Son of a cheap bastarding bugger. That was... Oh, you dick. You clever... I can't believe that oh. Damn. And on that bullshit but brilliant death, I'm going to leave it there because I don't want to ruin any more of the boss fights for you. You have to experience this yourself. It's outstanding. For 1993, it was well beyond its time. And the fact that it was released on the ill-fated Sega CD means that not enough people know about it or have played it. And you owe it to yourself, if you like this genre, to pick up a Sega CD and play this. I mean, you could probably pick up both for what a mainstream game would cost now. I mean, what do you pay for something like Call of Duty? It's like 60 quid off the bat, which is like $70, and then plus DLC. So it's still cheaper than that. And I've had more fun with this. I've probably played this for longer than I've played a lot of games in total. Not that it shows in my ability. I haven't played it for some time, but I just had to come back and make a video of this because people need to know about it if they don't already. And if you do, then, you know, go play it. Go play it now. It's awesome. Oh, very quickly, I almost forgot, because I said I would, and apparently I hate myself. We're going to check out the cruel level of difficulty. Well, this doesn't seem that much more... Holy fuck. Okay, no, we're alive. We're alive. You ain't so bad. You ain't so tough. Game. Okay, and this difficulty becomes a lot more about dodging their bullets than putting yourself in the best position to blow shit up. But it's not so bad. It's not... Oh, I may have to eat those words shortly. I'm not dead yet. All the skills. You saw. You all saw. Shit. Okay, it's a little more difficult. It upscales the difficulty rather sharply. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. And I've died for good. Yeah, so that's the hardest of the difficulty settings. It lures you into a false sense of security by being halfway to manageable to begin with, and then very abruptly slaps you in the face. Yeah, if you're into self-harm, maybe this is the mode for you. I'll be doing more videos of the Sega CD and the Mega Drive now I've got my recording working and up and running properly. I had some issues with it to begin with. For some reason, an insurmountable amount of lag, and trying to correct that in editing was just becoming a fucking nightmare. So, you know, we didn't get so many of these videos, but we'll be more of these. More proper retro-y stuff on the way. So as usual, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Ah.